Alright, what's up guys, this is Jake, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how you can go ahead and create your own landing page within your Shopify store. So first off, if you don't already have a Shopify store set up, you can go ahead and start your free trial by clicking the first link in the description down below. And once you go ahead and have a Shopify store set up, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to use a app to go ahead and create landing pages. So creating a landing page is something that you can do to help increase the conversion rate and the customer experience on your store. Instead of just using like a basic theme template or whatever, you can create a custom landing page that can help to increase the overall user experience. So in order to do this, we're going to use an app called Zeno Page Builder right here. So once you're logged into your store back end, you're going to come down here to apps, and then you're going to go to customize your store to open up the app store. And if you just search through the apps and just type in Zeno Page Builder right here, we're going to see that it's going to show up right here. So Zeno Landing Page Builder by Zenonian right here. So you just go ahead and click on this, and then we're going to go ahead and install this to our store. And in this case, I already have it installed in the store right here. So once you go ahead and install it in the store, it's going to show up here in your installed apps. So all you have to do is go ahead and click and open it up, and you'll be brought into the app right here. So this is the app we're going to be using to create landing pages, and it's very simple and easy to use. And in this video, we're going to build a landing page step by step, so that way you understand exactly how to do it. So inside of the Zeno Builder, there is two different ways that you can go ahead and create a landing page. We can see here by default, we start off by default with landing pages selected, but we can also create other things like blog posts, product pages, collection pages, and a cart page or a 404 page. But this video is going to be primarily focused around creating a landing page. So if we come up here and click new page, we can see that we can choose to start with a blank page, or we can choose a different template right here. So when it comes to creating a landing page, what I would recommend doing is you're typically going to want to have some idea of what you want your page to look like going into it. So you can go ahead and look up other people's landing pages within your niche, or even people outside of your niche. You can just find a landing page that you like, and then you can try and take inspiration from that when making your own. That's normally going to be the best thing to do. So think of some of the biggest brands that you know, and then try and take some ideas and inspiration from their landing pages and use it for your own. And that's what we're going to be doing in this video. But first, I'm going to show you how you can use some of these pre-made templates, but we're going to actually be building out one from scratch here in just a second. But if you want to use a pre-made template, you can scroll over these and you can just click on preview, and you can see what the template will look like here on desktop, on tablet, and on mobile. So you can scroll down and you can see what this template will look like, and you can go back and say we can pick a different template here and just click preview. And if you want to use one of these automated templates, all you'd have to do is click on choose template and then put in a page name here. So we'll just put template page, and we can see that the page name here is going to auto create us a path within our store, which means that if we go to ourstoreurl.com/template page, we will be taken to this page right here. And we can see that we can either enable the header and footer from our store or disable it by toggling this button right here. And if we click on create page, we're going to go ahead and see this auto populate here right here. So if we use a template, we can see that what we can do is all of these elements and everything are going to be in place, and we could go in and just edit them by clicking on them. So you could come in here and edit this text if you wanted to. So if you want to use a template, you can go ahead and do that. But I think for the sake of this video, it's going to be more useful if I go ahead and build a page from scratch. So we're going to go ahead and close this page out. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is create another page, and we're going to create a blank page this time. So I'm going to go ahead and create this page here. So I'm going to go ahead and exclude the theme header and footer, and we're going to just start from a completely blank page. And I'm going to click on create, and this is going to go ahead and load up. So like I said earlier, normally when you're creating a landing page, you want to have an idea of what you want the page to look like going into it. So if you just come into this from scratch and you have no plan on what you want to build, you're going to be here for hours and you're going to be all over the place. But if you already have an idea of what you're trying to build out, then you can go ahead and build it out really fast. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to kind of take inspiration from two different sites. So the first one here is going to be Blue Apron. So this is their landing page right here. So I'm going to take some elements from this, and I'm going to take some elements from this landing page here on Infinite Moon's site. And I'm going to take some of these elements from each of these pages, and I'm going to go ahead and build them into my own landing page right here. So the first thing that I'm going to do before we actually start building up this page is I'm going to get you familiar with the editor really quickly. So we can see here on the left, there's a bunch of different things that we can add to our page right here, and it's all drag and drop. So first off, we have layout. So these are going to be the core parts of our page. So we can add in a row, we can add in a tab, a slider, an accordion, a banner, or a video banner. So let's say we wanted to add a video, we could put this in here, and we can see that there is a video in the background here, and we could edit the video link by putting a video right here. We could do the same by putting in different content here like a slider, and then within the slider we can go ahead and edit everything within there. And then down here we have content. Now this is the type of stuff that you put inside of your layout. So your layout is like the core foundation of the block on the page, and then the content is what goes inside of it. So as a quick demonstration, let's say I drag in a row right here and I make it a block of 4 rows right here. And if I were to back out and come in here, we could see I could put text right here. I could put an image in this element box, I could put a video in this element box, and I could go ahead and put, let's say, custom code in this element box right here. So that's how you can go ahead and add in content inside of these different layouts right here. And then down here we have the booster section, which is similar to the content section. These are just things that you can add in to your overall layouts as well, and same with social and products. So now that we kind of know the gist of how everything works, we have layouts as a foundation, and then we have content and boosters that we put inside of these different layouts. I'm going to go ahead and delete this, and we're going to start actually building the page for real. So what you want to go ahead and do is take a look at the pages that you're taking inspiration from and try and figure out what their sections look like, and we're going to go ahead and duplicate it. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to create a header with our little menu right here. So in order to do that, I'm going to go ahead and just create a quick row, and I'm going to make it a row of just 1 right here. I'm going to make it full width, so this means that it's going to be the full width of the screen. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is come down here, and I'm going to drag an image element into the center. I'm going to choose an image really quickly. I'm going to go ahead and upload this right here. And then we can see right now this is way too big. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is change the width and make it significantly smaller. So we'll make it 10. So we can see now this looks like very similar to this, where it's just a small little image here. And if we wanted it on the left, just like it was here, we could do that just by aligning it left, aligning it right, or aligning it center. And if we wanted to align it left, and let's say we wanted to go ahead and have it spaced over a little bit right here, we could add some margin here on the left. So if I went 50, we can see this spaces it over right here. If I go to 150, we can see it scoots it over even more. So if we were trying to duplicate this, we can see that 150 margin on the left would be about the same. But in this case, I'm going to leave it at 0 because I'm going to just go ahead and center the logo right there. So I'm going to go ahead and go back. And now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and add a banner similar to this. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to drag banner here, under this row. So now we see we have a banner right here, and I'm going to go ahead and click choose image for this banner. I'm going to go ahead and upload an image right now. So I'm going to upload this as a nice wallpaper image right here. Then we can see that on here, their picture is a little bit bigger. So let's say we want to make ours bigger as well. I'm going to go ahead and just drag this up and down. So that way we can see here that our picture is going to be a lot bigger, very similar to the one here on Blue Apron. So I'm going to go ahead and let's see, this is 340. So I'm going to just make both of these even. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to back out and I'm going to drag some elements in here now. So the first thing I'm going to do is we can see they have text and a button. So I'm going to do the same thing by dragging text right here. And I'm going to go ahead and center this text. And then what I'm going to do is go back and I'm going to add a button next. And I'm going to drag the button right below the text. And then we can see right here, there's a bit of spacing between this heading and this button. So if I come to the button right here, we can see right here, if I come to here and I add some margin to the top of the button, this is going to add some spacing between this button and this heading right here. Now you can change different things like the font right here, so I can make the font bold, so I'll keep it bold in this particular case. We can change our button color as well. So I'm going to just be using the same basic color for this site. So obviously you're going to want to be using your brand's colors here. So I'm going to go ahead and just use this color right here, and I'm going to just make the text just black, or we'll go with white, and I'll make the button hover just like a darker version of this green right here. And then right here we can go ahead and add a link to where we want this button to go. So now if we want this button to actually link to a product, we can go ahead and just click choose link, and we can choose the link to one of our products right here. So I'll just go ahead and link to one of these products right here. And then if I click on this text right here, I can go ahead and change this to like shop now. And we can see that just like that, we have this button set up right here. And then if we click on this H3, we can go ahead and change the font size and everything right here. So if we wanted to make this bigger, we can make this bigger. We can go ahead and make this text like black. We can go ahead and change the actual font in here. So one thing I would recommend is just make sure you use the same font for the most part throughout the entire page. That way your page actually looks like it makes sense. If you have like 7 different fonts, not only is it going to start looking confusing, but it's actually going to slow down your loading speed as well. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to keep the text and everything here simple. So I'm going to just say like buy tea here. I'm not going to really be writing out a lot of copy for this video because I don't want it to be too long. But you put your H1 in right here, and you can see it just like that. We've went ahead and created this section for our page right here. So now we're going to go ahead and go to our next section here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and create this section right here. So we can see that if we think about this, what you have to do is when you're looking at these landing pages, you have to think about what they are in its simplest form. So what is this? This is an image, and then this is a header, and then this is text, and this is a header, this is text, and this is an image, and then we have an image, a header, and text. So what this would be inside of a page builder is we have 3 rows with 2 sections in each one. So if we were to come over here and do that, all we'd have to do is come over here, drag in 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows, and then we just have to start populating these rows here. So the first thing you'll notice is that these rows are actually not full width, unlike how this is full width, this was full width. These aren't full width. So what we want to first do is click on the row here, and we want to change the width to, let's say, let's see what 80 looks like. We'll do a little bit closer, so we'll do 70. So then we'll click on this row, we'll make this width 70. We'll click on this row and make its width 70. And we can see right here that now it's going to mirror this layout a bit more. So now if we start populating it with content here, we can put an image right here. We can put an image right here. and then we can put an image right here, and then we can continue following this layout by putting a heading right here, heading here, and the heading there. And then finally we just need to put in the text box, so text box below there, the text box below here, and the text box below here. And now you can see if I click on this image and we choose the image once again, I'm going to just use this image really quickly. I'm going to use this same image for all of them for the sake of the example here. And if we go ahead and choose these 3 images, we can see right here that we have already created this section of this landing page right here in this page builder very quickly. And if we wanted to come back in and edit this width again, if we wanted to make it skinnier, we could. So we could make it 60. So let's say we like 60 more. So we come back and make it 60 on all of them. And we can see that just like that, we have went ahead and copied this section of the landing page over to our store right here. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to create a section similar to this right here. So it's just going to be a row with like 4 different icons on it. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to add another row. So this time we're going to add a row again. But what we're going to do now is we're going to change the layout here to 4 different elements. And one thing to keep in mind is that at any point when you're editing this, you can change the edit mode from desktop to tablet to mobile, so you can see what it would look like on mobile right here. You can see what it looked like on tablet, and it would look like on desktop. So you want to make sure when you're editing everything that you go ahead and actually pay attention to what it looks like on mobile, because a lot of your visitors are going to be on mobile. So now with this row right here, what we're going to go ahead and do first is I'm going to make it 4 elements like we have right here. But now we need a solid background. So what we're going to go ahead and do is I'm going to click on Advanced, and I'm going to come down here to Background, and I'm going to make the background color. And I'm going to make the background color the same color that we've been using right here, the same green. So now we have that in right there. And then now we just need to go ahead and drag our elements in here, which would be 4 images and 4 text boxes right there. So we could come down here and we could actually use the icon if we wanted to. So we could go ahead and choose from a bunch of icons that they have here by default. So if you have your own icons, you can link to them or you can upload them as an image. In this case, I'm just going to use these icons that they have provided in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just quickly change the text to white. I'm going to get rid of the description because I'm going to make this separate. And I'm going to go ahead and increase the size of this icon to around 100 because that looks pretty similar to that. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go back, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that 4 more times. I went ahead and added 4 icons. So now what I want to go ahead and do is kind of center them a little bit more because they are a bit wide right here, as we can see. So if I click on the row right here to edit that, I'm going to change the width down to around 90. Actually, we'll come down here to about 80, and we can see that looks a little bit better. And now what I'm going to go ahead and do is just add a text box below each one of these icons. We're going to make the text white, and I'm going to get rid of most of this text. And what I'll do is I'll just keep this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a text box to each one. And just like that, we have our 4 different icons with our description text right here. So we've essentially copied this section onto our landing page once again. So now we're going to go ahead and create another section so we can see that they have their products here next. So I'm going to go ahead and create a products section next. So I'm going to go ahead and create another row here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it a layout of 2. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to come down here to product. I'm going to go ahead and drag a product in right here, and we can choose our product right here. So in this case, I'll choose the black tea, and then I'm going to go ahead and drag another product in right here. We're going to choose product, and I'm going to make this one the green tea right here. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to click on this price just so that way I can center it. I'm going to click on this add to cart button, and I'm going to go ahead and center that as well. And then I'm going to do the same for over here. And now what you want to do is you want to make sure that you keep everything congruent on your pages here. So if these buttons by default come laid out like this. So what we want to go ahead and do is we would want to change the color of these buttons to match this button up here. So that way all of our buttons look the same, because that makes it look more congruent. So we would change the button color to the green once again. We would make the text white. Make this darker once again. And then we would do the same thing for this button over here. And just like that, now our buttons are more congruent. Now let's say we wanted to go ahead and edit this a bit more. So I want to go ahead and center these titles really quickly. And then we can see over here they have a products header right here. So let's say we want to go ahead and do the same thing. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to come back and I'm going to scroll up here to heading, and I'm going to put in a heading. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put in another row in between here. In between these two, I'm going to make it a long one. I'm going to make it just one row right here. I'm going to come over, drag heading in. I'm going to center it. And I'm just going to go ahead and type in our products. So we can see now we've went ahead and kind of duplicated this out right here. Let's say I want to add a bit more margin, so we can go ahead and add some space in between there. So that way it looks more like a heading that belongs to these products right here. And we can see that just like that, that's how easy it is to go ahead and recreate other landing pages inside of your own store using Zeno. So the last section we're going to create here now is something similar to this. So just a quick little review section right here. So we can see that once again, we would come down here, we'd create another row at the bottom, we'd make it a row of 3. We would have to go ahead and make the background the same color that we've been using. And then for a review right here, we're just going to have a couple different text boxes. So we could come over here and I'm going to just have a heading for person name. And we can center it. And then down here I'd have text. And this would be the review. And then we would go ahead and duplicate this 3 times. So heading, text, heading, text. Make sure that we center these. And then this whole row, I want to lower the width a little bit. I think that looks a bit better. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do now is add a heading on top of this row really quick. And we would call it reviews. Center it. We'll make the background of this the same color. And we'll add a bit of padding to the top this time. And we can see that now we are good to go. Now in this case, I would actually want to make all of this text white, since that's essentially what we've been using throughout the rest of the page. So like I said, you want to go ahead and keep everything congruent. So obviously when you're building out your own landing page, you're not going to be using dummy text, but we're just using dummy text for the sake of this video to keep this a lot easier and quicker. So that's how quickly you can go ahead and create a landing page inside of Shopify using Zeno Page Builder. And like I said, if you're creating a landing page based off of other landing pages that you're looking at while you're building it, it's not really going to take a very long time. It's going to be quick and easy to go ahead and create. So after you've went ahead and done all of this, you could go ahead and click on save. And then if we wanted to preview this, we could go ahead and click preview really quickly, and it's going to go ahead and load up. We can see that we're previewing this landing page right now. It's a pretty basic landing page right now. Currently, it could definitely still use some improvement. However, I just wanted to show you how you can go ahead and use the functionality of the page builder to go ahead and duplicate some other landing pages. Now, obviously, in this particular case, I think we'd want to go ahead and shrink the width on this a bit more, as well as on these, because a lot of this is just a little bit too wide, and you want to clean up some of the margin and spacing to make it look a little bit cleaner. So you'd want to add a little bit of spacing in between here as well. But I'm not going to be super nitpicky in this video, or else we might be here for a couple of hours. So I just wanted to show the gist of the functionality of how you can go ahead and use all of the different editors within here to create a fully functional landing page within Shopify. So now I'm quickly going to come over here to the settings just to really quickly show you that there are other settings within Zeno Page Builder you can use. So we have page settings right here, so we can change the different settings like the SEO settings of the page. We have the page styles right here that you can edit. There's a currency converter that you can use. So if you want to go ahead and enable a currency converter, if you're going to be selling to different countries with different currencies, you can just click this to turn that on. You can go ahead and add a live Facebook Messenger chat to the page. If you want to go ahead and do that, you can put in your page ID right here. You can add an announcement bar to the top of the page if you want. We can see that that shows up right here. So similar to within regular Shopify right there. And you can add lazy loading if you want. So what this does is this means that images below the fold, so ones you don't see, will load later on, which makes the page loading speed quicker. So they'll only load when people actually scroll down to see it, instead of loading up the entire page as soon as you land on it. So normally enabling this is a good idea. And then we have breakpoints right here, so you can change these. You're probably not going to want to mess with this too much. And then you have custom CSS, so if you want to add custom CSS to this page, you can do that right here. So at this point, once we've went ahead and edited everything, I'm going to go ahead and click save. And if I come up here to publish, this is going to push the page live. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to home now, and we can see that this page is published. So I'm going to go ahead and click on these three dots real quick, and we can see that we can set our page here as our home page. So if we wanted to use this landing page as our home page, we can do that by clicking these three dots and then clicking set as home page. So for example, I'm going to open up the home page right now, and we can see that this is the home page currently. And if I were to come over here and click set as home page and click confirm, this page is set as home page. So if I come over here and refresh, we can see now the landing page we just made is our home page. So that's how you can create a landing page within Shopify using Zeno Page Builder. If you did find this video helpful, be sure to leave it a thumbs up and to subscribe to this channel for more videos. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.